Hello folks! Right now we're on our way to the most iconic structure here in all of Rome, the Colosseum. Back in 2019, my wife and I, along with our 2 adult children, were able to go inside this ancient building for the very first time. Now we're acting as tour guides for his sisters. We're now approaching the front of the Colosseum and are about to go inside.
I open it on the right.
We're now looking for the entrance where we know there's a ton of people waiting outside.
Dapat may tao na. Ano tayo mamaya?
The Colosseum is the largest amphitheater ever built, ancient or otherwise. It was built in 72 AD under Emperor Vespasian and was completed after 8 years. It was his son Titus that oversaw its completion. It was built to revitalize Rome after it was exposed to a very confusing and hard year run by 4 emperors. It was intended to be an entertainment venue showing gladiator fights, mock battles, and animal hunts. The original name of the Colosseum is, in English, Flavian Amphitheater. This is a pretty straightforward name as it was built by emperors during the Flavian dynasty, the second dynastic line of emperors to rule the Roman Empire. The total height of the structure is 157 feet, equivalent to a 14 to 15-story building. By the way, when you look at it from the ground, it would seem circular, but it is actually elliptical with a perimeter of 1,788 feet. A good substructure is one of the reasons why it's still standing up to this day. Lastly, this must-see ancient Roman structure is also the father of the modern stadium. Its elliptical shape and its means of controlling the entry and exit of the patrons based on their seat location can also be found in the most contemporary stadiums. Now we're on our way to the Roman Forum, another historic attraction that's near the Colosseum. The Roman Forum used to be a centrally located open area surrounded by public buildings and was regarded as a public gathering place. Religious and secular occasions and gatherings were held in this area and was also lined with shops and open-air markets. It was the center of activity during those times, with a lot of people enjoying the surroundings on a backdrop of grand temples and monuments. It was built at the end of the 7th century BC. At the end of the Roman Empire in 410 AD, the area fell into complete ruin as a result of extensive plundering of its marble and stone. It was also reduced to a pasture for grazing animals. Now we only see bits and pieces of the grandeur and splendor that once characterized the area. We're now out of the compound defining the Roman Forum and walking towards the Colosseum, and eventually out of the area to look for a place to have lunch.
Hindi slice.
La Capilla Sistina.
Touring around Rome. Ito pa. Sila, kinukunan.
Ay nilang close up.
Pahinga.
Nossa, é muito ruim no top, viado.
A slightly newer monument compared to all others, especially the ones at the Roman Forum, the altar of the Fatherland was designed by architect Giuseppe Sacconi in 1885. Building it started in 1911 and was completed in 1925. It commemorated the unification of Italy in 1870. It honors Vittorio Emanuele II, the first king of Italy. It is about 230 feet high and 443 feet wide. To some, it is lovingly called the wedding cake or the typewriter. The Piazza Navona is a public open space that is popular here in Rome. The ancient Romans visited this area to watch competitive games. The Fountain of the Four Rivers is located in front of the church overlooking the square. There's another fountain at the southern end called Fontana del Moro, and there's another one at the northern end called Fontana del Nettuno, or the Fountain of Neptune. Both fountains at each end seem to look the same to me. This square is famous because not only do you see nice looking fountains, but you also appreciate the beauty of the buildings surrounding it. The Pantheon was a former Roman temple and has been a Catholic church since AD 609 and is called the Basilica of Saint Mary and the Martyrs. The meaning of the word Pantheon is the gods of people, so in this case, this building is a temple dedicated to all the gods. This temple which eventually became a church, was constructed back in 27 BC by Marcus Vipsanius Agrippa, a Roman general, statesman, and architect, who is also the son-in-law and lieutenant of the Roman Emperor Augustus. He had intended to dedicate the building to the emperor. Later, the building was damaged in a fire along with several other buildings. It was later restored by another emperor, but caught fire again due to a lightning strike. Finally, it was Emperor Hadrian who ordered its reconstruction, which was completed during his reign. Finally, in 609 AD, the Pantheon was given by Emperor Phocas to the Catholic Church. He was a Byzantine emperor in the east. All pagan sculptures inside were removed, as expected. The Pantheon has 4 components: the portico, transitional block, drum, and dome. Other Roman buildings also have these components, but the Pantheon is the best example, showing all these incorporated on a grand scale.
Pero na,
As always, every second day of our visit to a certain city is always jam-packed with activities. This holds true for today as well. We visited some of the must-see places here in Rome, but we know that even if we stayed here for a week or so, it will still not be enough to see all the historic sites this city has. Remember, if I'm not mistaken, this city is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and that is amazing. Tomorrow will be our last full day here, and we scheduled a visit to another country, the Vatican. Watch out for that.